Hey there, if you have been a LEGO fan for a while and you like minifigures, these may be more significant than they appear. These are pretty simple minifigure packs like LEGO's been doing for a while now, but these are from 3 different themes that were released at the same time. There's also one more coming for City pretty soon. And all of these present very interesting value propositions. Now here's what's significant. Take a look at the last Ninjago minifigure pack. It had 3 figures in it, and it cost $13 US. Going back to 2016, this one had 4 figures, but it cost $15. The new one is back up to 4 figures, but it only costs $13. So, it's the larger number of figures for the lower price. The only catch? You have to build the figures yourself. Well, boo-hoo! It's LEGO, so let's go. Alright, so here's the Ninjago pack fully built up, and you'll see the spare pieces there in the front, just a handful of them. And you see in the middle, there's additionally a small build to go with the figures. I mean, it's not like this is amazing or anything, it's just a small build that's a pedestal with some accessories attached to it. This is a shield that can be used by figures. This is an ice claw type thing that can be used by figures. There's also another one on the other side, and this is it can be used as a torch or a fire mace, I suppose. And then there's just a torch on the other side with a little bit of flame. Got the whole fire and ice kind of theme going here. Fire and ice. I feel like they should make a song about that or something. Here are the fire and ice villains, respectively. The one on the left is a pyro destroyer. The one on the right is called a blizzard archer, officially by LEGO, but he's carrying like an ice spear. Are spear bearers called archers? I don't think so, but it's just a minifigure ultimately. Both of these are pretty good. I think that personally, I think that the Pyro Destroyer is more interesting, has more stuff on it, and more interesting pieces, especially with the new armor and the dual molded head with all the trans orange that you can see through. With some of the stuff removed, you can see a little bit more of the prints and also the alternate face for the Archer, which the Pyro Destroyer does not get. On the good guy's side, here on the left is Kai, and he's in his Legacy gi, his Legacy series or in-between season version. So comparing that to the most recent Season 11 version, it's a bit different. I actually kind of like the Legacy one. I like the prominent dragon on there, but, it's a perfectly fine stand-in, I think, for a Season 11 version. And on the right, talk about significant, that is Clutch Powers.
Clutch Powers. Clutch Powers.
Clutch Powers.
Clutch Powers. Anytime that I talk about Clutch Power, the actual stiction of Lego pieces going together, how they hold themselves together, there's always a ton of people in the comments that like to talk about Clutch Powers from the Adventures of Clutch Powers. So many of today's Lego fans need this in their life. It's the very first official LEGO Clutch Powers figure. I can't believe that they've never done a figure for promotional purposes, for a giveaway, only 10 of them made and they're worth $1,000 on eBay. Nothing. It's never been made. This is the first time, and he officially shows up in early episodes of Ninjago Season 11. I haven't seen the entire series just yet, but I've seen quite a bit of it. And yeah, he's in there, and now we actually have one of these. So if you want an official Clutch Powers figure, this is your chance. And it's your first ever chance at that. And it shows, maybe that's a little bit of a spoiler. I should have given it a spoiler alert, but it's not that big of a deal. You find it out early anyway. Yeah, both of his eyes are just fine, and the eye patch is just to make him look more tough. And there you go. Clutch Powers, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the rest of Kai's torso print. Next up, this City minifigure pack is basically the same deal. Costs the same amount, comes with 4 figures, and some assembly is required. This also comes with a couple of things that are new and at least for now exclusive. There's everything built up with the 4 spare pieces in the front, at least 3 of which might as well not be spares, because just go ahead and use them in the context of things going on in the set. The side build this time is an ice cream cart or popsicle cart or some sort of cold treats cart, and you can actually use this small extension here on the side with a hole on the top of it to hold on to an ice cream cone. It's currently being held by one of the figures. This thing is really small, but it's fine for what it is. It definitely adds Another thing that you build is the perch for the parrot. And that parrot there is one of the exclusive and new things for this set. It is a coral and teal parrot. So the two newest colors in LEGO's palette, or at least the newest color in LEGO's palette, plus the most recently resurrected color put together. So two very interesting colors. It's weird, it's different, and I like it for those two reasons. They also include a regular red crab there who has stolen one of the popsicles. These two figures are pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything new here. They're both in wetsuits, and those are not new prints. Not the most spectacular looking prints, but they're fine. They're just a little bit on the plain side. Looks like the diver has found a gem at the bottom of the sea where he was just going, and then on the right you just have a plain, unprinted, and no sticker included surfboard, just in medium azure. Got almost matching prints again on the back, and both of these have alternate faces. I don't know if there's any significance for the guy on the left, if that's part of a story of why they included one with the almost ready to vomit appearance. Maybe he ate a bunch of ice cream just before he went diving or something, but they might have just picked that in order to have a very different expression, or even just to get that very nice and delighted face. And then both of these are retro figures, but retro in different ways. The lady has a retro styled bathing suit. Looks like there's a little bit of smudging in the print, unfortunately. That's just a production error. Happens sometimes, but I still don't like it particularly. And then the guy has a retro styled sleeveless shirt. Now that initially I thought was the same one that they've been doing since 1994, but it's not. If you look closely, you notice that the print has been updated. It's got stripes compared to the old one. There we go. The new one has stripes rather than a dithered sun pattern, and the new one also has pink and coral, the new coral color built into it. So it's an update of a classic, and it's just done up a little bit more specially. So it's a collectible piece right there, I'd say. Both of these have a little bit of print on the back. Again, some smudging on the one on the left, unfortunately. Smudging and or denting and scratching, but at least it's relatively minor. And that alternate face lets you show her sunbathing. So this is the different one. It's for Spider-Man Far From Home. And not only does it come with a mere 3 figures rather than 4, but its retail price is also back up to $15, not $13. Interesting. So the situation isn't as simple as I initially thought, because it feels like there is more stuff here than with the others. This set does only come with 49 pieces compared to the 59 pieces in the Ninjago pack. It's only 45 for the city pack, but at least that had a couple of small animals. But I had to zoom out in order to take this shot right here relative to what I did for either of the others. Now, are they just tricking me here? Is it an optical illusion? Certainly these two small builds aren't that interesting and aren't that valuable, honestly. I mean, this is just a dome with a gem inside of it. It's fine, add something, but this is just a part of a suit of armor. Doesn't have any minifigure pieces inside of there, so that doesn't really count towards minifig. The drone, I'm glad that it comes with a stand. It's just a tricopter design, but it's fine. And each of these spins up and everything, and I suppose you can connect things to it in different ways with other pieces. I do appreciate the stand, but let's look at those figures though. So this is Agent Maria Hill with a pizza, and I'm actually happy about one thing here. The fact that LEGO used a torso that is not female specific, because it doesn't need to be, which means that you can use that for male figures if you want to do a custom build with that. And that's what LEGO is supposed to be all about, so I'm glad that they have actually done what I feel to be the right thing there. And I think that torso print is fine. The little bit of skin tone at the top there for the neck is weak. Almost looks the same as the gray shirt. Is that even supposed to be gray, or is that supposed to be white? Whatever it is. It's fine, but it's not great. But there is an alternate face there, which is useful. Ned, finally, This is certainly a desirable figure, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. Once again, the print isn't great. You know, they're just not quite on it with their prints. Some prints these days are good, some are not so much. This is not the best looking torso print. I like the design, but it's just not quite up to par with their better stuff. Still a desirable figure though. The face looks pretty good. I like the hair. Doesn't have the best texture on it, but it's pretty cool. Depends on how much you want to nitpick. I will nitpick because I look at these things up close and I look at hundreds of them per year, so I can compare. But overall, definitely a good thing that they made this available. And there is also an alternate expression, which I think is a pretty appropriate one. I do wish that they had included, though, a Death Star, a little nanoscale Death Star for a homecoming, a little bit of throwback, would have been appropriate. And just when they needed to pull through with the printing, they did. Now look at this. This is printed fabulously. This is fantastic. It's printed well all the way around. It has the printing on the arms. Everything is nice and crisp. Very crisp. All the lines, especially the black lines, that's done well. Why can't they do this more consistently? At least they didn't mess up on Spidey here. And they do have the dual molded legs. So, yeah, this is actually a pretty good figure. And the web piece is different. It's a 2x2 dish with just a white print on it rather than using a physical one. It's fine. But overall, a good rendition of Spidey here, so no complaints. And then this is the hood, just a little bit up version for eating. And you can see that he's got a mouthful, or on one side he's chewing. So that's also a good expression. I think just a nice thing to have in the repertoire for Lego in general, for Spidey into the future, even once they end up changing to another actor again. I think this will remain a nice collectible figure that a lot of people will like to have and will like to have had produced. In the end, with this one, I'm gonna say I'm still not satisfied with the reduction in number of figures relative to the others, and the increase in price. Because of the inclusion of that very nice Spider-Man and the overall inclusion of what I feel like is more stuff here, I'm okay with them choosing one. Either going down in number of figures like they did, or going up in price, but not both. No. I don't like that. Maybe I would have given it a second thought if the prints were equally excellent on all three figures, if all of them were higher in quality than the ones that we saw in the other packs, but that's just not the case here. So Lego is playing around a little bit. I like these 4 figure packs for $13 and don't mind having to put the stuff together. I feel like they are much better deals than we've gotten in quite some time. I really appreciate the compromise that they made there, not pre-assembling them, thereby reducing the cost. But again, I don't like what they did with the Spider-Man one. That feels exploitative to me, and more so than I'm interested in letting slide. So let me know your thoughts about each of these, and I will get the 4th pack as soon as it becomes available to me. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your comments.